Hey there, good afternoon, you guys. We're going to talk a little bit about Panaway essential oil blend with animals.
Panaway rocks.
That's my daughter. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Christina Campbell. I am the mother to two beautiful children.
One of them's me! And the other one's in the basement.
And the other one's in the basement. I am the wife to a fabulous husband, and I am a physician as well. I've been practicing medicine for about 20 years, board certified in emergency medicine, and my passion is prevention and health and wellness. As I said before, if I could put myself out of a job, I would be super happy. All right, so you guys, Panaway. Panaway is one of my absolute favorites for me personally.
It helps your pain go away.
Okay, now I have to make her stop because some things have to be FDA compliant, my Anna.
I will stop now, I promise.
So please stop while I do this video, okay? Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Sorry about that, guys. All right, so it is one that I keep in my gym locker at all times. It is something that I use regularly for minor aches and pains, for support with those things, okay? It has helichrysum, wintergreen, clove, and peppermint in it. So those are the single oils that make up this blend. It supports the body. It supports the body systems after injury, if you will. So it can be quite intense for smaller animals. So you want to make sure with cats, birds, exotics, smaller animals that you're using a highly diluted blend. So you want to make sure you're taking this and diluting it quite a bit before you're using it on them. Wintergreen oil, for those of you who do not know, have a natural form of methyl salicylate. And if you don't know what that is, synthetic methyl salicylate is the chemical name for aspirin. So those things are true, and they're true facts and cannot be refuted. So natural form of methyl salicylate works with the body and in a manner that is mutually beneficial, that's beneficial to the body. It has the reason that we use things like aspirin to prevent clots in the legs after surgery and for heart disease is for a blood thinning property. So the natural form of methyl salicylate in large amounts can do a similar action, but as I'm saying, is trying to figure out how to word this correctly, is more balanced. It's a more natural form of when it's in the wintergreen oil. So the methyl salicylate in wintergreen oil is balanced by many other chemical constituents that come with that essential oil or with that plant as well. So that is one of the things about essential oils, on a little aside, as far as the biochemistry of the essential oils and how they work with our bodies to support our body systems, is that they are an overall essential oil that comes from the plant, and it carries more than one single chemical constituent with it. Whereas when you speak about pharmaceutical medications, pharmaceuticals are typically a single entity, a single chemical component that has been synthesized in the lab to resemble or be similar to the action of a natural component, a natural compound. So when we talk about wintergreen essential oil, it has methyl salicylate in it, but it has also multiple other chemical constituents that were put in there naturally by the plants, created by the plant, that balance out the action of the methyl salicylate. So things to know, chemistry. I love chemistry. Anyway, so it is something that you need to consider when you're using it in smaller animals. You want to make sure you're diluting, and not because, and again, I'm not trying to create fear in any way, simply because we know that chemical is there and we want to make sure that we're being cognizant of it. The other component in Panaway, though, is helichrysum. Now, helichrysum has chemical constituents in it that actually help to balance the clotting system in the body, help to support balance in that system. And so it's quite interesting that Gary Young was smart enough to put those two things together. And then clove also has been known to have some, and some research has shown maybe some bleeding tendencies. So it's interesting to combine all three of those together in one blend, and they may or may not balance each other out, and I'm not going to claim to be that smart, but I think it's really interesting to put them all together. And it would be interesting to do some studies, but that's not been done as far as I know. Anyway, not the point. The point is chemical constituents, when they come in these natural products, are balanced out by nature much better than what we have as a single component in a pharmaceutical. So that being said, you do want to make sure you're diluting these, the Panaway, significantly when you're using it with cats or smaller animals, rabbits, birds, if you're using it with your birds. And the indications would be, or the things that you would be using it for, is essentially to support the body after injury or minor aches and pains, things like that, okay? So as a rule of thumb, birds and exotics, you can use water diffusion with this. You want to make sure that it's a very small amount. So this might be one of those where you would toothpick into the diffusing water and then diffuse it with that very small amount. So this is one of those times when using a water diffusion device can be very helpful, because you can really control how little or how much you're diffusing. Other ways to do it would be to passively put it on the perch for the bird, or in a cotton ball in the corner of the cage. You can add it to a species-specific raindrop, and in that case you would want to be sure you look up each of the single oils in it to see what your limits are and how much and how diluted it needs to be. Okay, and we talked about that a little bit in the last, can't remember if it was the last, I think it was the first one we talked about general use of blends. Another thing that you can use, you should not be using this as far as the feather spray recipe, which I have given before. This is not one that you would want to use in a feather spray recipe because of the clove in it. And also you would not want it in bathing water due to the peppermint, because the peppermint is quite cooling to the skin, and birds and exotics don't particularly necessarily want that. All right, so start low and go slow, right? That's my favorite saying. Dogs and larger animals, including horses, you can add Panaway to their raindrop, species-specific raindrop. You can diffuse it both with an air diffuser and a water diffusion method. So either way is okay. You can pet with it neat, so you don't have to dilute it quite as much with the larger animals, or you can dilute it if you want, and pet it onto an area that needs a little bit of specific help, and it's absorbed topically. And anytime you're petting an animal too, when you're petting their fur, hair is a natural diffuser, really. I put a lot of oils in my hair that I wear for perfume, because the hair will absorb the oil, and then it will, as your body heats up or as the sun hits your hair, it will diffuse directly out of your hair. So same thing with animals. So when you're putting it on your animal, you're petting on your animal, you're actually also diffusing it. So how about that? So it actually is absorbed topically, but you're also diffusing it into the air around the animal, which is kind of cool. So I hope that helps you a bit with how to use Panaway with your animals. I know that was kind of brief and quick. The next oil that we're going to talk about is purification, and this is a wonderful oil to use with animals. So I will go into that in depth, and then I'm also, when we talk about purification, I'm also going to talk about the new insect repellent that came out at convention in the last couple of days. They just released a beautiful insect repellent, which we will talk about how to use that in animals. Can you use it in animals? How would you do it? So I'm going to have to do a little research on the ingredients, because no one has written about it or researched about it, because it's brand new. So I will do that for you, and we'll talk about that when we come to purification, and that will likely be tomorrow or the next day, if I'm being honest. So, because I do want to do my research and make sure that I'm giving you good information. I hope this has been helpful for you guys. Hey, Patty and Joyce, it's nice to see you guys on. I have to get to the gym. I have to go. I need to go work out. And then I promised my children that I would do something fun with them after. So we'll see. So I need to go do that and be the mama that I need to be. I hope you guys got a lot out of this information. Please feel free to share. Invite your friends to this. I know the class was supposed to end on the 8th of June, and I completely underestimated how long it would take me. I won't make that mistake again. But please feel free to copy the link and share it with friends. You can message the link to friends, or you can post it on your page and on your Facebook page if you want, even text it to people. So please, please still invite people. I'd love to see more names, more faces joining in. All right, you guys have a great day.